Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear the music? Let me know how everything sounds. We're going to be live in just a second, but yeah, first I need to know if everything sounds good. Is the music too quiet? I think it might be too quiet. Am I too loud? I don't know. One of those two might be true. Or maybe everything sounds absolutely perfect. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We're going to be live in just a second. If you want to get prepped and get the designs, get whatever crochet you need or whatever designs you need, we're going to be crocheting flowers today. I think we're going to be designing a flower live. I've got a fun idea for a new way to crochet a rose that I thought of this morning that I want to give a shot at. But if we don't get to that, then we'll be just crocheting a bunch of other flowers. And you can find all of our flower patterns at clubcrochet.com/flowers. You can find a link at the top there or in the top of the description. And yeah, we'll be live soon. All right, sounds good, sounds good. All right, well, I am so excited to see you guys. I'll be on in just a moment. Alrighty, let's get rocking and rolling. Hi, everybody. Hello. Hi, chat. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are having a great day. I thought, you know what? It's the perfect day to crochet something for a loved one. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to crochet something for someone that we love. And I'm excited. I'm excited to share that with you. I just got back this week from my honeymoon, so I'll also be talking to you a bunch about that. But before we get going, I'm going to say this a bunch during this live stream. Please, well, first off, thank you so much for watching. But also, if you like what's going on here, please like down below, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, hit the little bell icon so you don't miss when we go live in the future. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get hooking. Pew! Pew! Oh, look at that. Oh, man, I almost messed up my beautiful setup. Look at this beautiful setup. Isn't it cute? I'm pretty proud of it. I'm not gonna lie. I just think it looks really cute. Okay, so today, here's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be crocheting some flowers, and just whatever. Don't worry, everything is fine. Just everything's falling apart. No, if you want to crochet along with me, you can find all of today's patterns at clubcrochet.com/valentines. You can find our specific flower themed patterns at clubcrochet.com/flowers. And you can find all the rest of the patterns at clubcrochet.com/nothing. That's just it, clubcrochet.com. You can find all of our designs there. I come out with new patterns all the time. And yeah, there's a bunch of really quick patterns that you can make there, so that if you need something to make someone by the end of the day, you totally can. And I'm going to be showing you a few projects throughout today's stream that we'll be making. Is the music? Oh, nope, music's still gone. Hi to the chat. Hi, everybody in the chat. Yes, okay, so, and we'll be talking about my honeymoon in a little bit, too, because I just got back from New Zealand for a honeymoon. It was awesome, and I'm very excited to share it. If you like what's going on today and you want to crochet along with me, Well, that's super cool. All you're gonna need is some yarn, the project, of course, you can find right here, and a crochet hook. I'm using a size G 4mm crochet hook. You might want a darning needle, like a crimped end darning needle like this. You might want some scissors. You might want some safety eyes. We have a bunch of materials in the shop if you want to get anything there. It's a great way to support this channel. And while you guys are getting those materials, let me talk about some other ways you can support this channel. Other than liking and subscribing and all that other free stuff, you can, if you want to support us monetarily, that would be super cool. You can support monetarily in a few different ways. The first, probably bestest way is with a Club Crochet membership. Members get early access to future patterns, access to the exclusive library of tutorials. I come out with new ones all the time. There's a bunch in the library, like this anatomical human heart, which is also perfect for Valentine's Day. And let's see, this cute little rose that is in the background. This is our backup rose. If the rose that I'm gonna try designing live on camera today doesn't work out, we're gonna go to my older rose pattern. I say older, it's not that old. It's just, I had an idea how to do it without any sewing, and I thought it might be fun to try. So there's that. But there's also free patterns like our little crocheted heart, which I think a lot of people have seen in the past. It's a very popular pattern on our site. And let's see, some other ones. We got sunflowers, things like that. Oh, we have a brand new pattern in the library, which I'm going to be asking your help naming today. So if you're live in the chat, I'm gonna need some name suggestions, because last live stream before our trip to New Zealand, I made this really cute kiwi in preparation. Isn't it so cute? And I love it. Cooper in the chat. Hi, Cooper. He is our moderator today. Thank you so much for your help, Cooper. Cooper helped us get this pattern on the website really quick while I was away at honeymoon. So if you want to check this pattern out, you can find it at clubcrochet.com/kiwi, I believe, or just going to clubcrochet.com and going through the browse section and you'll find it. But I need to name this kiwi. I don't want to just call it a kiwi bird on the pattern, so I want to give it a name. So if you have name suggestions, please give us shout outs in the chat. I'm taking suggestions. Look at this, see? Boop. We're going to be taking suggestions today, and by the end of the live stream, we're going to vote on what we're going to name our kiwi pattern on the website. So yeah, this pattern is available for members as an improvised pattern. So it's a great reason for you to get a Club Crochet membership if you like. Other ways you can support this channel, we got merch, kits, and stuff in the store. We've got a bunch of different pins in the store. This is my favorite pin of ours, our Club Crochet. This is our logo with a little rainbow design that I made, and I don't know, I just really like it. It's on like pretty much everything that I wear. And then this is our new pin that is coming out ASAP. That's coming with our new seasonal crochet kit, because our next season is starting next week, and it's your last chance to pre-order. So if you want to get a new deluxe kit with everything you need to make, I think we're definitely gonna be making up to 10 designs, but we probably are gonna be making even more. There's gonna be a lot of Amigurumi in it, so it kind of skews the how many designs you make. But if you pre-order today, not only do you get the cheapest price possible, but you also get an exclusive pin, our little Bigfoot Bobby. And I actually drew this pin myself. This one is a Louis original, and I'm really proud of it. It's named after my dad. Bobby, by the way, who really likes Bigfoot. Okay, hey, if you are in the chat, Cooper, could you do me a big favor? Could you write down all the names that people are suggesting in the chat? And you know what? Actually, I think we can do this a little bit better. I think we can do this a little bit cleaner. Let me do this instead. Let me see if I can create a Q&A. Actually, I don't know if they let me do that anymore. I guess they don't let me do that. Cooper, if you could write down the names for me and just put them in a Google Doc or Google Sheet or something, and just send it over on Slack, I can access that a little bit easier. It might be easier than me writing down them manually. If you don't have time for that, I totally understand, but it would be very helpful. Okay. So we got all of that out of the way. Kits, merch. Oh, yes, I'm looking for testers, actually, today for a new design. It's going to be the first design of our new Woolly Woods themed season. And it is I'm trying to make it extremely beginner friendly. I'm trying to make it a beginner crash course in crochet so that if you don't know how to crochet at all, you can get started with this design. And I'm looking for testers. So if you are interested in testing, even if you are an advanced crocheter, I'm looking for advanced crocheters too. I'm looking for 10 people in 4 different skill levels. So if you are interested in helping me test this new mystery design, check out the link. I believe there's a link in the description, perhaps. I think it's in the description. You know what? Let me put it in the description right now if it's not. Yeah, it's not. Okay, hold on. Help me test a new design. Nope, no, that's the wrong link. This is the right link. Copy. All right, there you go. And I'll be choosing testers, so check out the link in the description. I'll be choosing testers tomorrow, probably late tonight, but early tomorrow morning. And I would really, really love some advice, especially from complete newbies. So if you've never crocheted before in your life and you're interested in learning, this is a really good opportunity, and I can really use the help and support. Okay, well, without further ado, let's get hooking. Today we're going to be I'm going to start today's stream by trying to design a brand new rose pattern using an idea that I've had. I've been working on this new technique of crochet that I actually started using in the succulent design few years now, right? When did I come out with the succulent design? It's almost like been 2 years since that design. I believe I started using it then. Where did I put the... Hold on. Ah, it fell. And I've used it for a few designs in the past, but I've never really, gone deep into this design system or this little trick that I came up with. But I've recently been using it a lot, and I realized this morning, I was like, oh, you know what? This could be a really cool way to make a rose very, very easily. So we're going to give that a shot today. If you know what I'm talking about, it's essentially creating a base and then crocheting around it. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to start today by not explaining what I'm doing, just so I can come up with it. And then after I have a successful mini rose, we'll move on and I'll actually teach how to do it on the stream. And then hopefully we can add this to the website as like an improvised design now, and then come out with it publicly as soon as I can. And we've tested it out enough. That's usually my system, by the way. I really want to make sure everything's pretty and hunky-dory before I come out with it publicly. So I just want to make sure everything is right before it's a free design or something like that. So I'm going to be doing my best today to just kind of figure it out, and then I'll explain what I'm doing in a little bit later in today's stream. But how have you guys been? How has everybody been? It's been a couple of weeks, chat. Thank you so much for joining again. I hope you guys have had a wonderful start of the year. I know January's already over. It's kind of insane. It's been quite a whirlwind here, between fires and rain and chaos. It has been a very stressful and busy start of the year, but I'm actually really excited for personal stuff this year. It's gonna hopefully be a big year for me. I don't know, we'll see. We got big plans this year. It's kind of been weird because before my... when you have a big trip planned, it's hard to get going with your year. When you have that, it's right there. I'm about to go on a trip. It can make the rest of, I don't know. I just have a hard time getting my engine running really well when I have a planned trip right around the corner, especially when it's in the new year. So this year it kind of felt like I was not coasting, but I was just having a really hard time getting my engine running, before this trip to New Zealand for our honeymoon. And now that the trip's over, I feel like, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm ready to crochet. And I don't know. I've been very, very motivated this week and have gotten so much done in a week. It's kind of crazy. Which is good because I have a lot to do. A lot of patterns planned, a lot of designs I've been working on that I have really, really been wanting to come out with like forever. So I've been really motivated and energized this past week, and I can feel that motivation and energy is not going to be going away anytime soon. I know someone before the stream started that asked about Lava Run. Hey, Lava Run is going a-okay. If you're out there and you supported the project and you're wondering what's going on, why haven't I posted anything about it? It's because it is currently, we've been waiting for manufacturing because of Chinese New Year, or the Lunar New Year rather, I think is what it's called. Anyhow, when that happens, pretty much all the factories in China shut down and our game is being made there. So, because it's like the only place that you can get board games made. And so it's been a slow go there, but actually everything is still on track as far as like when it's going to get into people's hands for Lava Run. So I haven't really posted an update yet. I really need to. So we're working on an update for next week. So if you're out there wondering what's going on with Lava Run, don't worry. Updates come in ASAP next week. I've got a lot to share and a lot of cool things. So yeah, and we've been working on a few little secret projects that I probably won't be sharing in the update, but just for you to know, we have some other cool secret projects coming in regards to Lava Run 2, and yeah, I'm very excited about it. Okay, let me tell you guys a bit about our honeymoon, because it was really cool, and yeah, so me and my wife, Jules, got married in August, so it's actually been a second for us to get ready and go on our honeymoon. But we finally got ready and going and got our honeymoon. Ooh, Celia, good question. Okay, 1 second. I will get to your question in just a moment, Celia. We finally got going on our honeymoon and left on right before Jules' birthday, and we decided on New Zealand. Originally, we actually wanted to go to, have a really chill honeymoon in like a tropical beach kind of place, like the Bahamas or something. But then we both looked at each other one day and we were like, you don't want to do that, do you? Like, both of us realized that's not what we want out of a honeymoon. We want to go on an adventure. Like, yes, of course, we want to see things that are beautiful. We want to relax. But even more so, we're a very adventurous couple. We really wanted to go somewhere where we could experience adventurous things. And I was like, what if we went to New Zealand? Jules has been to New Zealand before, a long, long time ago, when she was a kid. But she was like, oh my gosh, that's a great idea. So she planned this whole trip. It was incredible. We did so much. We were only there for like, I think our whole honeymoon was only 8 days, just because we couldn't get that much time off of work and we didn't, we don't have that much money. But it was amazing. An incredible 8 days. We did so much so fast. And yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. Let me talk to Celia real quick. Celia asked, when will Lava Run be shipped out to those who backed? Our plan right now, it all depends on when the games actually get to us so that we can start shipping them out. But the plan was always April or May, and we are still on track for that. So I would expect it in May. Be excited if we get it to you in April. I'm really trying to get it by April, but definitely by May. And yeah, so, but I'll keep you updated if there's any kind of like slowdown there. I don't expect much slowdown outside of, what already is going on. But I actually anticipated a few hurdles, so I kind of like prepped for that so that other things could go quicker while certain things are going slow. So it's all going according to plan. It's a little bit frustrating having to wait I know, and I'm sorry I've been so quiet on updates, but I will get updates to you much quicker very soon. Yeah, if you want to watch the shorts about my trip to New Zealand, by the way, I put them all on my personal Instagram. You can find that at Louis Loops. That's me on Instagram. That's my personal Instagram, and on there I did a highlight. I did shorts throughout my trip, and I did a highlight reel for anybody that wants to see how the trip went and stuff like that. So I think it was pretty good. I took a lot of great videos. I hit a bunch of goblins in Hobbiton, but you know what? Let's just go through my trip so I can share the trip with you. Oh, and again, if you haven't yet, please like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel. Yibbity yabbity, you know the dealio. Okay, by the way, where we're going on this, I think this is gonna look pretty good. I know what you're thinking right now. You're looking at this and you're like, that's definitely not a rose. What are you doing? The plan is to go and decrease it down after this and then work the petals into these unused front loops only. So there's the secret of what I'm trying to do here. I have never made this before. I've never done what I'm doing right now. So it might work. I think it'll work. It'll probably work. Let's hope it works. And again, if you would like to give me any name suggestions for kiwis in the comments, we are writing them down. And at the end of this live stream, we're going to be voting on what to name our new kiwi crochet pattern design. So, yeah. Okay. So our trip to honeymoon. Yes, our trip to the sweet, sweet honeymoon was awesome. Let's see. We started by, we left on a late night flight. We actually almost missed our flight because we didn't realize that to go to New Zealand, you need to get a visa. You need to apply for a visa to go. And we did not know that until we got to the airport and we couldn't get our boarding pass. And we're like, why can't we get our boarding pass? We walked here, there, and another place. And then finally we ran into another couple that were also in the same situation as us, and they were like, you have to sign up for a visa, go, you need to do it now. And we're like, so we got our visas last second. Luckily they went through really quick, but it did freak us out a lot. And so we almost missed our late night flight, which would have been a bummer because we wouldn't have been able to get home. We would have just slept in the airport, but it all worked out. And we got on the plane to New Zealand late night and started our trip from there. We landed in Auckland, and our first 3 days were freaking insane. We had a lot going on in the very start of our trip. We started with a trip to a little zoo. It was less of a zoo, more of a reserve to take care of natural New Zealand wildlife, which, if you know me, you know that's really important to me. I like to try to do whatever we can to support the world in the wildlife areas, because I think we're kind of, having a hard time there. So it was really nice to see all that and to actually see New Zealand creatures live was really neat. We started by trying to see the kiwis. It was very difficult to see the kiwis because they're nocturnal creatures, so they have like this night room. And when we first went in there, we couldn't find any, and there was a bunch of people in there, so we decided to just walk around the park instead. And we saw so many other cool birds. I got to talk to a kaka, which is a parrot bird, and it was so cool. It was answering me. I was like, oh, I can totally whistle back in the same way that it whistled to us. And so I did it. I heard it whistle once from far away, and I was like, oh, you know what? Let's see if I can whistle back to it. I whistled back to it, and it walked on the roof right over to me, and we whistled to each other for like 10 minutes. We were just sitting there whistling to each other. It was really, really cool. And then we saw a bunch of other critters, a bunch of lizards, which were cute. And then we went back into the kiwi place and finally saw a kiwi because no one was there. And it was so cool. They're so cute. They look like little fuzzy balls with like a stick coming out of their face. Like, this is pretty accurate, I gotta say. They look so funny. If anything, I think this body isn't round enough. That's my only feedback with this, is it could have been even a more rotund body, because they are round. They are so cute though. It was really cool. And it was just such a cool thing that was the start of our trip, you know? Started the trip, saw a kiwi, boom, bam, bop. It was neat. So that was really, really neat. And then we, literally right after that, it was like, I don't know, starting to get late afternoon. In New Zealand, it is summer right now, so it actually didn't get dark until like 9, maybe 10 even, was when it was really getting dark. It was really light for a long time, so we actually had a lot more day left. So we, some people were like, you should go see this waterfall that's near here. I can't remember the name of the waterfall, but we were like, okay, yeah, we'll go see it. They're like, it's like a really short hike to go see it, blah, blah, blah. So we drove over. It was a really short hike, not even 5 minutes, maybe 10. It was really, really short. And you get to the top of this, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do next here. You get to the top of, or the bottom of this ravine thing, and it opens up to this, honestly, the coolest waterfall I have ever seen. No question in my mind. Oh my gosh, you guys. This was like, it was insane. It looked like the wallpaper of a, it looked like the wallpaper of like, your desktop. It was crazy, you guys. It was like, gosh, I can't enough explain how awesome it was to see. It was one of the coolest waterfalls I've ever seen, ever. So that was epic. And when I say epic, I mean like it was epic. And it was just so cool. It was like our start to our trip. We see a waterfall. What are you talking about, dude? How awesome. So that was way, 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 way cool. And then, let's see, after that, we went to, we quickly went, oh, you know what? I'm actually skipping around a little bit. I forgot, before that, wait, was it before that or after that? I can't remember if it was before or after that. We went to a glowworm cave. Again, this is all day one, you guys. There was so much we did. It was crazy. We went to a glowworm cave, which, again, I love critters. I love creatures. I love seeing wildlife and learning about the evolution of wildlife and stuff. And so we went to this glowworm cave, and I was like, glowworms, what are you talking about? And it was awesome, dude. There are these worms that live deep in these caves, these like limestone caves on the side of a mountain, and they were, it was so cool. Basically what they do is they create these long like saliva strands. They like these long strings hanging from the top of the ceiling, and then they glow their little bums, and the glow attracts any flies that somehow end up in this cave, which that was alone like, how are flies even ending up in here? But apparently a lot of flies end up in there because these glowworms were everywhere. They were scattered all over the roof, and it looked like, straight up, they turned the lights off, it looked like sky, like stars in the sky. It was so cool, just epic. Yeah, we were on this boat, like in a cave, right? And it just, like, I was asking a million questions because I was like, how long do they live? Where else could you find these in the world? And like, no one else on our tour was like asking any questions. I feel like I was really annoying the tour guide because I just kept asking questions. I was like, and this and that and this, and how is this here? And it was really funny. And Jules was all excited because I was really excited about our trip. She wasn't sure of how I was going to feel about this trip because she planned most of it. Which, thank you, Jules. You're amazing. Jules is a very good trip planner. And it was just such an epic start to the trip. It was crazy. So these glowworms were amazing. When they turned the lights on, it was so creepy. There were just a bunch of strings hanging off the roof, and it was like, oh, those are there all along. You can't see them at all. Like, it was really creepy. But the worms themselves were really cool. So it was a really, really cool experience. Highly suggested. Go check out the glowworms if you go to New Zealand. And then I think after that is when we saw the waterfall, which, as you can imagine, again, day one, we go see kiwis. Wow, that's awesome. We go see these glowworms. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then we go see the most beautiful waterfall I've ever seen in my life. Are you kidding me? That we didn't even know existed? Are you joking? It was like, what? What? It was epic. And then after that, we were on our way back, and we ran into another couple that were also on their honeymoon. Shout out to, what was their name? Sam and Olivia. I don't know if they ever will find this. But they were like, you got to go check out this natural land bridge on your way home. No one talks about it. It's so epic and even closer than the waterfall. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, let's go check it out. So we went to this natural land bridge, and essentially it was like an outdoor cave. It was so cool. It was like, what? And the acoustics, oh my gosh, Jules sang the song in there. It was beautiful. It was just such an epic start to our trip. And we absolutely, we were floored. You know, we were going, the gas was cooking. We were flying with the start of this trip. And it was just so epic and just such a wonderful start. Okay, I'm going to get to the day 2 in just a moment. But before I get to day 2, I think I have the start of our rose made here. And now my goal is to create the leaves that go on, or I mean the petals that go over it, using these unused front loops only. So let's give this a shot. Now, my plan is, let's see, I need to think about how I want these petals to lay. And I think I want them to lay up, you know, which means that I should probably crochet them from bottom to top. So what I'm gonna do here, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, we're gonna go into this unused front loop only from the second to last round of the petal part right here. And I'm gonna pull through a red yarn, and we're probably gonna do this a few times because I need to find like the perfect iteration of stitches to make these petals look right. It does look like a strawberry. I totally agree with you, Jazzy, in the chat. Very strawberry-esque right now. But I think it'll look a lot better once we start adding these petals. So I'm going to go ahead, pull a loop through there. And I'll just chain one to get that loop locked in. And I'm going to start a series of stitches here. Now, what should the series of stitches be is the question to make it look the most petally. It probably would be smart to make the petals big at the bottom and smaller at the top. So I think what we're going to do is, I don't want to skip any stitches. Let's try doing this. We're going to try doing a single crochet in the first, into these unused back loops only. Front loops only? Yeah, unused front loops only. Single crochet in the first, and then I'll try doing a half double crochet in the next. And let's do a half double crochet and a double crochet in the next. Let's try that. Half double, double. Yeah, and then we're going to do it the other way around. We're going to do a double crochet in the stitch after that, and a half double crochet, so it like slowly kind of like shrinks down. You see what I mean? So it's gonna like kind of start to creep its way up the rows, and then we'll do just a single crochet in the next stitch, and then a slip stitch in the stitch after that. Okay, so that, I'm gonna call that just a large petal right there. So yeah, so see, the idea is we're going to do a large petal, probably a few large petals for the bottom part here, and then we'll start to shrink down into smaller petals as we get to the top. So I'm going to try that again. We're going to go into the next stitch. I'll do a single crochet, and then we're going to do a half double crochet and a double crochet like that. And then we're going to go backwards. We're going to do a double crochet and a half double crochet in the same stitch, and then a single crochet in the stitch after right here, and then a slip stitch after that. And that's actually going to finish up that first row too. So 2 big old petals there, right? You see how it's going to kind of like, that's the bottom of our piece, and then as we go up and up and up, it should get more and more petally. That's the plan. We'll see how it works. I left these last row unused so that I can add a little bit of a flare using green yarn at the bottom. So we're going to get back to that in a bit. I kind of wish I did that before I started this, but that's okay. I'm also going to pull in this tail end from the very beginning here. And don't worry if you're like, what are you doing? This is not the tutorial section of it, so don't you stress too much about that. I'm just talking it through for myself as we go. Okay. Hey, Leaf Sauce, how you doing? Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to day 2 of my honeymoon. Let's see. We went day 1. We finished glowworms. We went to the waterfall. We went to the land bridge. Day 2 was Jules' birthday? I think it was. I think day 2 was Jules' birthday in America. Oh no, it was Jules' birthday in New Zealand. So that was the thing. We were a day ahead of everybody. So Jules actually kind of got a double birthday. She got a birthday in New Zealand, and then it was her birthday in America the next day, which is kind of cool. So for her first birthday, we went to Hobbiton. Oh my gosh, this was so cool. Jules had gone to Hobbiton once when she was a kiddo and went to New Zealand. And this was before it was like really Hobbiton. By the way, Hobbiton, what that is when they were making the Lord of the Rings movies, they actually built the Shire, which is like the section where the hobbits live and stuff. And after the Lord of the Rings movies, they actually started to tear it down, but then the Hobbit movies got picked up, so they built it back up. The second time they built it up, they made it much more like sturdy and legitimate. So now it was not going to go away. So they built it up, and then after the Hobbit movies were done, I think they built it even more. And today, it's almost like not a theme park really, but it was so cool. It was legit like you walked into the Shire. A whole bunch of little houses in holes in the side of mountains, and it was so cool. It was so cool, and it was just the perfect day. There was bumblebees flying around, and my plan going to Hobbiton was I wanted to hide some goblins. I wanted to do a goblin invasion of Hobbiton. So before we got there, on the flight over and on the drives and everything, I was making mini goblins. And guys, I made a bunch of mini goblins. I got like 4, I think, done on the plane, and then like another 4 on the way there. I had so many little guys. And so what we did was on our tour, when we were walking around, I just started hiding goblins. And I hid them everywhere. There were goblins in Bilbo's house, and there were goblins outside of the drunkard's house, and there were goblins outside the celebration tree. I hid them all over the place, and it was really fun. It was really fun to be like sneaky about it too, and just like let the tour go ahead, and then be like, I'm gonna hide a goblin right here. So I hid so many goblins there, and it was so much fun. And Jules had a really wonderful time for her birthday in Hobbiton. We spent a long time there, honestly. It was great. And then, let's see, after Hobbiton, what did we do after Hobbiton? Gosh. Okay. After Hobbiton, we drove super far? Yeah, wait, we drove somewhere. Oh, that's what we did. We drove down to Rotorua, I believe is the name of it. It was a yeah, that's what we did. We drove down to Rotorua, which was another town there. It took like an hour or two to drive down there. It was really interesting driving because we were driving on the wrong side of the road. For us Americans, we were driving on the left side, and it was like, ooh, it was kind of spooky at first, but then it became really fun after like a very short amount of time. Hey, this rose is, it's coming together. I think it's gonna look better and better as we add more petals. I don't know. What do you guys think so far? Let's ignore that part. I think we're going to have to start switching to smaller petals pretty soon. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I think as we get to this top part, it's going to really fill in a lot more. So I will save my judgment for then. But it's getting a little iffy. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we drove to Rotorua. We almost... we were running low on time, and we were like, oh my gosh, we still have so much planned for this day, because we really did. We had a crazy day that day. But we did the thing. We got there just in time to do the main thing that I was really excited about doing, which was zorbing. Oh, guys, this was so cool. Zorbing, I think it's just a trust the process type of thing. Oh, yeah. Trust the process. Yeah, I agree with you, Coop. So zorbing was awesome. Basically what zorbing is it's a giant, kind of like a giant hamster wheel. So you, with like water in the base of it. And what you do is you just jump in and they push this giant hamster ball down a mountain. And that's it. And you just tumble and fall your way through. Oh my gosh, it was so exciting. I was screaming. Check out the video on my Instagram if you can, on the highlight reel of my Instagram if you really want to see it. It was so exciting, so much fun. 10 out of 10, would do it a million times again. And we actually did get to do it more times than we paid for, because we were like, yeah, it's her birthday and it's our honeymoon, blah, blah. And so they gave us free tickets to go again. And then they tried to give us free tickets to go again. We did a bunch of different like tracks there. So they have like, you can go down the track that goes straight down the hill, or you can go down the track that goes, that like twists and turns its way down the hill. But we ended up we did like 3 of the different tracks, and then they said, do you want to go again? And we were like, wow, you guys are really, really kind. They could just tell we were having a ball. But I was getting a little sick. Not sick of it. It was so much fun, but I was getting stomach sick because it kind of felt like, oh man, I don't know. Here's the thing I don't like right now going on with this rose, is that the petals are kind of lining up with each other. So yeah, I definitely think that now, let's do one more big petal here. And then I think I want to switch over to small petals after this one. Actually, you know what? Maybe I want to switch over to small petals now. Yeah, okay, so we're going to switch over to smaller petals. Let me finish the zorbing part of the story. So we went zorbing. It was awesome. Apparently, you can only do that in New Zealand, which was kind of like, what? There's no zorbing anywhere else, but except for this one place. I don't know how they get away with that, but that is the way it be. So it was sick, though. Way cool. And then we started our drive down to our last event of the day, which I'll get to in a second. Let me figure out what I'm doing here with these smaller petals. I think that's probably good. Right, is that good? Maybe I want the small petals to be even more dense. That's not bad. Yeah, I think that's pretty good for a small petal. We'll give that a shot. The thing that I'm not stoked on right now with these petals is that they are lining up with each other, which I'm not really into. But even more so is that the connection point, the slip stitch here, is not making them look as separate of petals as I was kind of hoping they would. So again, I'll just trust the process and we'll see how it goes at the top. And if it doesn't work out, we will switch it up and do a different kind of rose. But we'll just keep trusting the process for now. And let's do another one. So these smaller petals right now, I'm doing 1 single crochet and then 2 double crochets. So what I could do is I could create a point in these double crochets, which might help make them look like different petals, but it might give them more of a succulent look. So I'm kind of trying to like avoid that if necessary, or if I can. It might also be good to do, instead of a single crochet here, doing a half double crochet might be smart, and then a chain and then a slip stitch might make them look like different petals from each other. So that's another thing I'm debating right now. But they are lining up a little bit cleaner now. And if I can stretch them out a little bit and fold them up a little bit more, I think you'll see that it's starting to get a little bit more rosy. I think the problem that I'm going to have here is that these are just a little bigger than I'm hoping. But let's see how it goes. Let's keep going. Okay, so we kept driving on down to our next event, which was Tepua? I don't know what it was called exactly, but basically what it was is a big historical Maori location where, so the Maori in New Zealand are they are the native people of New Zealand. Think of them like native Hawaiians if you're in America, or Native Americans, but they are extremely like it was really interesting because New Zealand was very proud of their Maori culture and heritage, which I really appreciated, because as an American I think we don't appreciate the native cultures that were here before us a little bit more. I don't know, that's like a whole nother discussion for a different day. But in New Zealand, they were so proud of their Maori population, and it was really cool. Yeah, maybe I'll work top down next time. So the problem with, yeah, actually, you know what, you're totally right, Zoe, because they would bend in, because I was thinking they would bend out like this if I did them this way, but you're right. I think if we went top down, it might look more petally like that. You know, I think you're probably right about that. I could undo this and just start again from the top down. That actually wouldn't be hard at all. It might save us a lot of time. What do we think? What do you think, team? Should I just pull this out and go from the top down instead? I think she's right. I think they look more petally that way. Because this way they're kind of petaling out, which isn't, we want them to like go up and like that. Yeah, you know what, Zoe? I'm picking up what you're putting down. We're going to take this apart. We're going to go back from the top and work our way down instead, because I think you're right. And I'd rather just get going on that right now than have to do this whole thing over and over again. You know, save us a little bit of effort for later. All right. Looks kind of funny with all these loops out, but that's okay. You won't see them anyhow. That's okay. You won't see them anyway. Okay. All right. So where was I? We went to Tepua. It was really cool to learn about the Maori culture there. I got to see a haka, which is like, if you look up a haka, it is like a Maori like war cry, which was so cool. Oh my gosh, it was so emotional and like epic, and it was really, really cool. I've always wanted to see one, so it was neat to see in person. By the way, I'm just going to start with a bit of like the tiniest petal. So we're going to start with the smallest shape of petal first, and then we're going to shrink our way down as we go down. So I'm going to start with 2 half double crochets. Let's undo that. this. Let's try that again. Half double crochet, and then a, do we need to do a chain in it? Yeah, let's try it. A chain one, and then a slip stitch into the next. Let's try it like that. So it's a little itty bitty petal at the very top there. And we're gonna do a few of those. So I'll chain one, half double crochet two, one, and two. And then chain one, and then slip stitch one into the next. That's pretty good. Yeah, like that. Nice. So the petals will go up, and then we'll just start building them out more and more as we go around. Okay, let's give that a shot. Okay, where was I? So we went to Tepua. It was awesome. We got this really, really wonderful dinner for Jules' birthday. They sang happy birthday to Jules, which was really cute. We weren't expecting that. But, you know, I mentioned somewhere along the lines that it was her birthday. And so they did a big birthday thing for her, which was really cool. We saw a haka. That was awesome. And truly, after 2 days, it kind of felt like, wow, we did all the, like, we kind of already hit all the big things that we wanted to do on the North Island. New Zealand's split into 2 islands. There's a North Island and a South Island. And the North, I mean, there were definitely other things we wanted to do in the North Island, as we didn't get to, like, the bottom part of the North Island, which is, I think, where, like, the capital is and stuff. But we did get a lot done in the North Island in just 2 days. And we had plans the next morning. We needed to drive all the way back up to where we flew in, which was like a 3 or 4 hour drive, and hop on a plane and go to the South Islands. I think that's what we did. Gosh. It all happened so fast, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's what we did. We went to the South Islands after that. And then we had a whole nother trip in the South Islands, which I'll talk to you about in a second. But hey, everybody in the chat, what are you making? You crocheting anything fun? What are you making? Who are you making it for? Let us all know. I want to know what you guys are making. I want to know what y'all are crocheting. Anybody getting anything special today? Making anything for... Make something for your mom. Make something for your like, best friend. Or, of course, your significant other. Whatever. I want to know. What are you guys crocheting? And what names have you come up with for our kiwi? Don't forget, we're coming up with a name for our kiwi today so that we can do a vote at the end of the live stream on what we want to name this crochet design. So if you want to crochet a little kiwi, if you want to give us a name for our kiwi, go ahead and put it in the chat. And Cooper is keeping track of that for me. And we only have 6 names so far, and I really like them though. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, that one's funny too. I like that. Okay, well, yeah, go ahead and give us more names in the chat. I will also probably try to come up with a little name for them too. Maybe, I don't know. But go for it. I see Cooper is there ready for any names. So, okay. Back to it. I think what I'll do is I'll do like a few more of these small petals. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to 5. We'll do 6 of these tiny petals first, and then we'll start to make a little bit bigger petals as we go down. 1, like that. Yeah, I think that's looking really good. Good suggestion there, Zoe. Thank you for the suggestion. Prickle. That's good. Thanks, Tina. Hi, Tina, by the way. I meant to say hi earlier. I said hi off camera. Oh, hi, Tina. Okay. Peeps. April is crocheting some peeps. That's cute. What a cute little gift. Yeah, okay, so I said 1 more tiny petal, so let's do this next one. And then we'll start to grow these petals out. I probably could get away with doing these tiny petals for a little bit longer. I don't know. Yeah, I probably could. Like all the way around, and then so it would be okay, fine. I'll do 2 more tiny petals. 2 more. Yeah, why not? Okay, so we then flew down for our honeymoon. We flew down to the Southern Islands, which were really cool. And this is where the trip started to get a lot more chill. We kind of threw a bunch of stuff in the start of our trip, and then in the second half of our trip, we kind of chilled out. So we started by landing in... I can't remember where we landed. We went from Auckland to... I think we flew to Queenstown. Yeah, I think we flew to Queenstown, and we got a hotel in Queenstown, which was very, like, more southern on the... Gosh, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time remembering and crocheting and designing a crochet pattern simultaneously. Surprise, surprise, it's a difficult thing to do at the same time. Who would have thought? Anyhow, it was really cool. It was very, like, it was almost Parisian. It was like a little tiny cute little town with a bunch of younger people there and a lot of things to do. Basically, it was this town that's like on the side of next to a giant like lake, but the lake was made by a glacier that had like scraped its way through and just created this gigantic lake. It was so epic. Really, really epic. And there were just so many nice people there. So much good food. Oh my gosh, the food in Queenstown was great. We got some really good sushi. And just a bunch of everything for food. It was a lot of fun. I got some really good Korean food, which I liked a lot too. It was interesting. We got a lot of Asian inspired food, which Jules and I are really big fans of Asian food, so it was a great change. Or, you know, not change, you know what I mean. Anyhow, it was wonderful. We walked around a lot. We went to a little silent disco, which was a lot of fun. But we really just ate a bunch of food and drank and partied. I mean, we didn't really party that much. We're not big partiers, but we did have a lot of fun and just hung out and talked and were in love, and it was cute and gross and icky and yucky and beautiful. If you don't know, Jules and I have a little saying that we say to each other, yuck, nasty, gross, which is whenever we're feeling really cute and in love, we say yuck, nasty, gross, which is just this cute thing that we do. I know, I'm sorry, Blue Artist. I know, we're designing it live. This is designed live. It'll definitely be available next year for you. But yes, that is what we're making. A rose where you don't need to actually sew anything together. That is the goal here. I think we could have done this much smaller. Like, look at this. This is already a rose, you know? Doesn't that already look like one? But I kind of made it giant, so it's going to be a very big rose to start us off with. So we're going to have to try to maybe do a big one and a tiny one, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, it's kind of weird because I'm designing this live and also telling the story of my honeymoon. So I'm not like, I'm just kind of going with the flow here. And hopefully I'll remember what I did. I think I will. I'm really not too worried about like remembering how this pattern goes. But we will probably have to make another one of these. I kind of wish I made little ones first, so that I could at least get the idea before I did the big one, but whatever, we're on the big rose now. Cool, I'm glad you're excited for it, Blue. By the way, hi, Blue, how are you? Happy Valentine's Day. Tina, are you crocheting? Oh, a Pelipper or Pipsqueak for the name of the kiwi? I like that. I like that. That is a cute. Those are cute names. I was confused with what you were saying, but now I get what you're saying. Yeah, we're trying to name our little kiwi from our last live stream here. This was a pattern that we did last live stream, by the way, Blue. It's a cute little kiwi. And we're looking for a name. So if you have any name suggestions, go ahead and put it in the chat. That's going to be the name of the pattern itself. So it's a big deal. Name it if you can. Okay. So we went to Queenstown, and the first day at Queenstown, we just kind of relaxed. You know, we had a long flight and just were chilling. We had a really busy past few days, so we kind of had a relaxing-ish day. And then we, on day 2, oh my gosh, let's see. We went to... Oh no, we didn't. I remember now. On day 1, we didn't have that chill of a day. First, we did have a chill day, and then by the end of the day, we were like, we had plans to go luging, which luging, I always thought luging was like going down a really steep hill, like, you know, ice luging is what I think. But we actually went luging down in like, it was kind of like go-karting a little bit, but without motorized go-karts. You were just kind of going down the hill. It was so much fun. We took a giant, what's that thing called where you go up a hill? If you were like, gondola. Gondola? No, gondola's in the water. You know what I'm saying. But anyhow, it was really cool. We went up a big hill. We got to see all of Queenstown. It was beautiful. And then we, oh, you're making a mushroom boy. Then we went to, we went on these really cool luges all the way down the hill, which were so much fun. And then went back up, and we did it 3 times. Really cool. And we were racing. I won every race. No big deal. Whatever. And then Jules knew I was gonna win. I really like to race. One time I went to a friend's birthday party, and he was doing go-kart racing for his birthday party. And I was a grown adult man. I was not a kid. This was an adult party, and I kicked butt so much racing. I won the gold medal, and then we were going home, and Jules was like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "What? What'd I do?" Ski lift. That's the word I was looking for. Maybe it is a gondola pill too, though. I don't know. I won the whole thing, and Jules was like, "Why'd you do that? It was his birthday. It was Dom's birthday. You should have let him win." And I was like, he wouldn't have wanted me to win. Thinking of myself, like, if it was my birthday, I would not want someone to let me win. But it was kind of funny. I talked to Dom later about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't have wanted you to let me win. I wish I won, but that's not on me." I was like, "Yeah, sorry though." Anyhow, I really like to race, and so we did these fun luging down the hill, and then we got some really nice romantic dinner afterwards, where it was Jules's American birthday still that day. So this was the day after Hobbiton, okay? We had a crazy start of the trip. And they wished her happy birthday. They were super nice. They gave her free cake and stuff, and it was just super cool. And then we went and played arcade games. We walked around a cemetery. That's kind of it's a funny tradition, but Jules and I, every time we're on a trip, you know, we've gone to France, we've gone to London, we've gone to a bunch of different places in America, Pittsburgh, and we've gone to Japan. Every time we go on a trip, we always visit a cemetery. It's just a way for us to like pay respects to people there, but also just to like see what cemeteries are like in different places. And it's always a very peaceful and honestly kind of romantic time. I highly suggest it. If you're going on a trip, go check out the cemeteries. They're pretty fun. Try to find the oldest grave there. When we were in New Zealand, the oldest grave we found was from 1860 something. It was like, oh my gosh, that is an old grave. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I like to think about the ghosts that live there. I'm thinking like, oh, I hope they're enjoying us walking over their graves. It's kind of a funny thing. Gizmo's a fun name for the kiwi. I like that. Let's see. So we did that. That was super fun. And then the next day, what do we do after that? Oh, that's right. Milford Sound. Oh my gosh, you guys. So the next day, Jules made me wake up early, really early. We woke up at like 5 a.m. or something, 6 a.m. Too early. But we got on a bus, and this was an all-day trip. Oh my gosh, we had to drive so far for this, but it was so cool. We went to a place called Milford Sound. Now, a sound, I learned this in New Zealand. A sound is basically, I think it's like a big area that's made by a glacier. I don't know. I don't remember if that's what a sound is or that's what a fjord is, and it was a fjord, but it's called a sound, something like that. Anyhow, it was amazing. It was like this giant lake. It ended up not being a lake because it was attached to the ocean, so it wasn't really a lake. It was like an inlet, and huge. But the most epic part was you're in this lake kind of thing, and you look up, and it's just huge cliffs, gigantic cliffs next to you, and you're just like going through these giant cliffs. It was beautiful. Oh my gosh. It was really, really cool. So that was incredible. It was quite a day of travel, to be honest. You know, being in a bus with a bunch of people, and it was fine. The bus part was whatever. I did see a Kia, which is another. I saw a wild Kia, just for like a half second. These are like these giant parrots that don't. They are non. They can't fly. And they're really, really cute. Here, I actually crocheted one. Oh, you know what? I left it in the other room. But I crocheted a Kia. I crocheted a bird version of a Kia. And it was just super cute and really cool. And we saw these wonderful waterfalls there. We got these really delicious pies. They were like pot pies. They're not pot pies. They're called like, I don't know. They really like their meat pies there. And so we got these really good pies and just hung out on a boat going around. It was super cool. I think it's time for me to do big petals, right? Like the petals have been getting bigger and bigger. So I would say these are like the medium petals down here. You know, I've been doing medium petals for a little bit. There were tiny petals up here. Now I think we're at like the point where I think we can do just a few gigantic petals on this bottom part. Because all these petals are starting to line up with each other. And so I think if we do some really big ones, let's see if we span it over a few stitches. So we'll chain one, we'll do half double, 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 toil and trouble, half, and then a slip will get us all the way over there. And then if I do that again, half, double, double, half, slip, slip. And it still kind of lines up. Well, let's give it a shot. Yeah, well, you know what? We'll do one more medium one, and then I'll move on to big ones after that. Let's do that. Okay, so chain one, half double here, and then we'll get bigger as we go. Is the rose pattern that we're making right now a free pattern? Nicole asks. It is not a pattern at all yet. I mean, we haven't finished it. I'm literally making up right now, Nicole. The plan, however, is going to be that it will probably come out as a member exclusive pattern to start, and then I probably will release this as a free design next Valentine's Day, just because, you know, it's a little late. I kind of goofed that up. But Bilbo, I like the name Bilbo the Kiwi. That's pretty cute. Boston has a really good cemetery, Cookin' Mama. That is definitely true. I know it sounds funny, but it really is. It's sometimes you go to a really good cemetery. I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's try these big petals and see how these go. Double, and then a double again. I mean, I might even go bigger than this. Let's try. Well, let's see how big these petals go first before I even make them bigger than this. And then a half, and then a chain one, and a slip stitch one like that. I mean, that's a pretty big petal right there. Yeah, I suppose that's larger than this one, just a little bit. We might even do gigantic petals at the bottom. It's definitely looking like a rose though, right? Good tip by Zoe, by the way. Loved the tip of going from top to bottom instead of bottom to top. It is looking much better that way. Yeah, much better. Okay. Let's see, where were we? So we went to Milford Sound. That was epic. Got back. It was a really chill day afterwards. We knew we were going to drive a long time the day afterwards. We were going to a place called Dunedin, which is like a town on a beach, for the end of our honeymoon the next day. So we kind of chilled out the night of, saw some good street performing, went to another silent disco. We love silent discos now. The guy was like, it's not a silent disco, it's a silent rave, which really made Jules happy because Jules actually used to be a raver back in the day. So she really enjoyed it. And when we put our headphones on, it was one of our favorite songs that we love to just dance to. For those that are curious, I can't remember what it's called. Something Killers in the Jungle, I think is what it's called. But we always thought it was saying Kitties in the Jungle. Which I think it's really funny to go. It goes like, kitties in the jungle. Kitties in the jungle. Meow. Listen, you hear that? Kitties in the jungle. But it's not kitties, it's killers. But I think it's cuter saying it's kitties in the jungle. Anyhow. That was a lot of fun. This rose is getting dense. Gosh, I wish these petals didn't line up so well, but it's okay. Whatever, it happens. Okay. Let's see. What do we do after that? We drove to Dunedin. That's right. Okay, so we drove to Dunedin. That was awesome. We were on the beach. We hung out there for a long time. Jules and I used to live on the beach in San Francisco, so we're big fans of the beach. And it was really fun seeing the opposite side of the Pacific Ocean. By the way, we were further south than we've ever been in our whole lives. Both of us. We were really low on the equator. It was really interesting. The stars are upside down there. And I didn't think about that until we were there. And then it's like, oh my gosh, you look up, you're looking at Orion's belt, and Orion is upside down. And we were like, why is that the case? And we actually found an astronomer there. And they explained to us that the stars aren't upside down, we're upside down right now. And we're looking at them upside down. And that, like, once they pointed it out that way, I was like, oh yeah. We actually, when we saw that astronomer, we also saw Jupiter and 4 moons of Jupiter. It was so cool. We got to see Jupiter and all its moons. It was so epic. But yeah, so we went to Dunedin. We had a nice, relaxing end of the trip. Just kind of chilled. And then we flew back to Auckland, where we were going to get our flight back to America. But then our flight got delayed by like 11 hours. It was crazy. That's it. Rumble. That's the name of that song, Cooper. Our flight got delayed a crazy amount. 11 hours. And so we were kind of stuck in Auckland, like, what are we going to do? So then we went to go see that new Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown. You guys, you got to see this movie. It was so good. I loved it. Timothée Chalamet, boy, is so hot right now. He's totally got it. He killed it. It was such a good movie. Highly, highly suggested. One of my favorites. Especially one of my favorite, like, you know, musician biopics or whatever they're called. It was so cool. I really, really liked it a lot. So I highly recommend going to see it. If you're looking for a movie tonight that you want to see with a loved one, you might like it. It was very good. It was very inspiring in its own way. And, you know, it's interesting because Bob Dylan's definitely like an anti-hero, might be the way to say it. He definitely has a lot of flaws. But, yeah, it was a very interesting movie, and I highly recommend you guys go to see that if you can. And then we got rewarded with our long delay with a nearly empty flight. It was seriously crazy. Even the people that were, even the flight attendants were like, we've never seen a flight this empty. It was so empty. There was like, I don't know, 15 people on the entire flight. So Jules and I just took different rows because all the rows were empty, and we just laid down in the rows and slept the entire flight. It was awesome. It was so cool. It was like we had a first class flight back. It was really, really cool, honestly. I want every flight like that. So it kind of felt like a reward for us being like stuck for so long in an airport. So that was kind of nice. And honestly, it made the trip back really, really easy. It was like a 12-hour flight back because we're here in LA, so it's actually not that far to New Zealand. You know, all things considered. So it was great. Got home, saw Jimbo. He missed me a bunch, as you can probably imagine. He's been pretty much attached to me ever since I've gotten back. And yeah, just been at work since then. So that was my honeymoon, our honeymoon. It was great. Highly recommend to go on a honeymoon if you can. It was really cool. But go to New Zealand if you get it. Yeah, we definitely won the flight lottery for sure. New Zealand is awesome. Okay, well, thank you for listening to my rambling. Looks like I might have scared some people away with that huge, crazy, long story, but I am glad to have said it, and it was really fun. Okay. Look at that rose. It's coming together pretty well. I do think it is maybe a little bit big. You know, I could have gotten rid of a row, I think, in the middle there to make this a smaller rose. And we might do that if we make another one of these today. But it's looking like a rose. It's looking like a rose. Yeah, I think like there's this middle row here that we could have just pretty much gotten rid of to make it shorter. So we might do that on the second one because it is looking a little bit messy. I also think I might have been able to go to a bigger petal a little quicker. That might have helped also because it just seems like there's a little too many petals, especially in this top area. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and finish this one up. And then maybe we can make another one. I want to make a yellow one if possible for Jules. She really likes yellow roses. So I think it'd be a nice thing to do. So let's go ahead and finish this up. And that last rose, the next one that we make, I can actually explain what I'm doing as I go a little bit more, even if it isn't a final design. But yeah, we'll give it a shot. Hope you guys are having a good Valentine's Day, just hanging out, spreading the love, whether that's to yourself or to a loved one or to a friend or to a family member. Just share the love. All right, looks like we got 1, 2, 3 more stitches. So I'm just going to do a tiny petal for this last bit, which was chain. Yeah, chain half double 2. So just so that it fits a little bit better, we're just going to do that. And then slip stitch there. That. And we'll cut this and hide the end. I'm going to do something fancy with the bottom with green, but we should not need to use any sewing still. So don't have to worry about that. Not a bad shot though. I think we just finished our first musical playlist as well. Looks like we got music starting and a different playlist. Cool. I'm really excited about Woolly Woods. I don't know if you guys are. You think it's around 2 rows too many? Yeah, I think you might be right. I also think it's maybe a little bigger than I want it to be also. So we'll give this another shot. Just a moment. And we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and get rid of all that red there. But you know what? I totally agree. I think it's just a little too big for a rose. But I will say that the basic idea of what I was thinking for this did work. It definitely worked. It just ended up being kind of a mutated, gigantic rose. Kind of looks not like what we really wanted it to look like. But that's okay. Tell you what. I think I'm just going to actually cut here. I'll leave long enough so that I can make this into something later on. We'll put this off to the side with this rose. And I'm going to get started on a yellow version that's a little bit smaller. Now that we've learned what we have made, let's try it again. I'm going to get some yellow yarn, which I totally forgot to grab. Do I have yellow yarn? Maybe we're opening up a new yellow yarn. I think I opened a yellow yarn. Didn't I open a yellow yarn like last stream though? I thought I did. Maybe it's in here. No? I'm sure I had like a bunch of it. Oh, you know what? It's in here. Oh, I never opened it. That's okay. All right, new ball of yarn. We're making a yellow rose now. Here we go. And hey, if you haven't yet, like down below, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff, and let's make another rose. This time, I'm super serious this time. Okay. And we're going to explain what we're doing as we go as well. All right, we're going to make this one smaller. I think a smaller rose would be really cute too. I don't think we need a big rose like this. I think we can make it even tinier. Just a nice, simple, small rose. Might be nice. So we're going to start by making a magic loop. That's where I'm going to start here. Can you see my crochet? Maybe if I get a little closer to the cam. Might be a little bit better. Okay. That can be flipped. Have I ever thought about making a project that can be flipped? Interesting. Like flipped inside out? What do you mean by that, Nico? Nico Kokudo. I like that name. Okay, so I'm going to start by single crocheting 6 into a magic loop. Usually how I start here. Basically what we're going to be making first is the bud, is what I'll call it in the pattern, or like the base of the rose is basically what you can think of it as. And we're going to start by basically making our shaping, and then we're going to build our petals on the stitches outside. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets in the magic loop. I'm going to work around my tail end for this next stitch, but in our next round here, we're going to increase up to 12 stitches by doing 2 single crochets per stitch. However, we're going to be working only in the back loop. So if I look really close to my crochet here, see if I can get it better on camera there. There we go. Go way up there right into the camera. So if you look into our stitch here, normally we've been working into both loops like that. That's how you do crochet normally. But for this pattern, at least for the bud of our rose, we're going to only work into the back loops of all of our stitches around, leaving this front loop unused and open for us to add petals to later on. So we're going to work only in this back loop here, and we're going to start, as I say whatever these rounds are, just remember we're always working into these back loops. We're going to do an increase into each stitch around for our second round here to go up to 12 stitches from 6 stitches around, and see how that goes. We're making this rose slightly smaller than the rose that we did in our first half of this live stream. And like I said, we're working around our tail end just for a few stitches here. That's probably fine. And I'll just go ahead and cut this tail end nice and short. We don't need it. All right, 1, 2, that's great. Yeah, I think you're totally right though, Coop. I think we just made it a little too big here. So we made a round too much, and I think 2 rounds too much, and we made it a little too wide. I think I did in this one, I got to 18 stitches around, which was a mistake. Yeah, this is our biggest part right here, was 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it looks like I got to 21 stitches around. Yeah, that's way too big. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, wow, I made this way too big. Okay, so we're gonna make it significantly smaller this time. I'm gonna go up from 12 stitches up to, we're just gonna make a tiny rose. We're gonna go up to 15 stitches around by doing 1 single crochet into the first 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and then an increase into the next 4 and 5, and then we're going to repeat that 3 times around. So that's 1, 2, 3 single crochets, get our tail end out of there, we go, and then an increase 4 and 5, 3 rounds around to go up to 15 stitches. And I think we're going to stop at 15 stitches this time. Last time we got all the way up to 21 stitches. This time I think we're going to stop at 15 for making it any bigger. So it'll be a really tiny, I'm hoping to make just a little rose today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. Stretch. All right. So that'd be 15. Next round, we're gonna just do a single crochet. Still working into the back loops only. Don't forget about that. We are gonna just do a single crochet into each stitch around for this round. And then we're gonna decrease it down. And it's gonna be a really tiny rose, but I think that's what we're gonna want. We'll see. You'll see there's a pattern coming out in the Woolly Woods season that uses this technique a lot that I'm really excited about. All right, so that's up to 15. All right, next round, we're gonna decrease it down. We're gonna do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and let's do 3 single crochets. And then I'm gonna decrease it down. I'm gonna do single crochet 2 together by going into the next stitch, pulling a loop through, then going into the stitch after that right here, pulling a second loop through, and then yarning over and pulling through all 3 loops on the hook to decrease it down. We're going to do that 3 times in a row to go back down to 12 stitches around. 1, 2, and 3. Pretty easy squeezy. Lemon peasy. All right, one more decrease there. 3, and then our decrease. Like that. All right. And I think we just have one more round here to make the bud of our rose. And that's just going to be a single crochet 2 together in all of these unused back loops only, all the way around. That's it. Pretty easy for that last round. It should be 6 stitches total. I'm doing a single crochet 2 together for our decrease. Normally I like doing the invisible decrease, but you can't, it's really hard to do the invisible decrease when you're only working into those back loops only. Before I finish it up though, I am going to change over to our green yarn for our last stitch. And this time around for this rose, I'm going to actually make the edge of our green part before we do the petals, because that's something I didn't do in our first one that I kind of wish I did. It'll be really easy. We'll do, yeah, it'll be easy. So this last stitch right here, we're going to do single crochet 2 together in, but we're going to change over to our green yarn to finish it up. Like this. Place our green yarn in between the 3 loops and the one on the hook. Just like, I'll get a little closer real quick. Like that. And then I'm going to switch over to our green yarn, yarn over and pull through all the 3 loops with our green instead. And we'll pull the yellow a little tighter as well. I'm actually going to cut the yellow yarn. I'm going to leave a somewhat long end. I mean, it's not that long, but you know, just a little bit of an end. Pull our loop out there, and I'm just going to go ahead and stuff both these ends into our piece really quick, just to get them out of our way a little bit. I'm using a chopstick today for my stuffing utensil. It's just a little easier. All right, now what we're going to do, with this green yarn, I'm going to work into those front loops only from our last round, and I'm going to do the following. We're going to do, hold on, sorry, I'm thinking. Yeah. So in our first one, we're going to do a half double crochet. We're working in the front loops only, okay? So this one closest to us, front loop only like that. We're going to do a half double crochet into the first stitch, and then a mini picot, which is going to be chain 2, 1 and 2, and then slip stitch into that second chain from the hook right here in the back loop, so like right there. And then we're just going to slip stitch like that. And then we're going to do another half double crochet in that same stitch. That. Boom, boom. Okay. And then we're going to do we'll do a slip stitch into the next front loop only. Boom. Looks pretty good. Yeah, and then we're basically going to do that same repeat 3 times around. So let's do it again. We're going to yarn over. I'm not going to chain 2. I'm just going to do a half double crochet. Again, we're working in that front loop only. 1 half double crochet, 1 mini picot, where we chain 2 and slip stitch into the back loop of the first chain, and then another half double crochet in that front loop only. Pretty easy. I only am doing single crochet 2 together because you're not going to see the stitches, Coop, but thank you for worrying about me. And then a slip stitch into the next, like that. Okay. And then we're going to do that one more time. Half double in the first, mini picot, slip stitch, and then another half double in the same stitch, and then a slip stitch into the front loop of the last one right there. Okay. See, so that's going to create these little tiny leaves on the bottom there. which will be the nice border between the rose and the stem. Now I'm actually going to get started on the stem. So I'm going to use those unused back loops only that we didn't work into in our last round. Hold on, I gotta correct my fingers. I have to. I will fall apart if I don't. All right, so the easiest way is we need to find that first unused back loop only, and kind of the easiest way to do that is to go backwards. So if I look right here, it's going to be the end of our last one, you know? So that'll be the front. That would be the unused back loop only of the last stitch, and we want to count 6 over. So there's 1, 2, 3 will be here, 4 would be here, 5 would be here. It's really in there. And there's gonna be one right next to it. Yep, right there. It's kind of buried in there. So that's probably a smart move if you want to like really find them. So in that first unused back loop only, I'm gonna single crochet. So I'm going to single crochet into all of these unused back loops only for this round to get the stem started. So I'll get my yarn in my hook, perhaps like that. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to get right into that first unused back loop only now that since it's up, and then I'll tighten everything up. And we're going to do our first single crochet. Boom. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in each of those. There should be 6 of those unused back loops only. Kind of looking like a pineapple a little bit here. Next one's right here. And you can kind of notice if you're trying to figure it out where it is, I'm basically pointing straight down to the one I just went into and then moving over slightly. And I'm not even really looking where I'm going. I'm just poking straight down and then pulling up to get into that stitch. I hope that makes sense. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 made. So it'll be 5, and then we'll have one more after that. Which will be right here. Oops. See, it's kind of hard to find it. That was the last one. It'll be right there. Nope, that's not the right stitch either. I can see it in there. Just didn't want my needle to get in there. It's gonna be right there, I think. Yeah. Probably would have been easier if we did those unused, if we did the back loop only first and then did the single crochets. And then did the little petal edges. But then I'd have to cut the yarn and stuff, and I don't like cutting yarn. There we go. All right, now I'm just gonna count my stitches back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just gonna do single crochets in each stitch around for pretty much as long as we want the rose stem to be. But I'm just going to do one round of this, and then I'll stuff it up a little bit, and we'll start working on the petals instead. And we'll come back to this stem later. Sound good? Sound good. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. All right, looks a little weird, but don't worry about that too much. We're gonna stuff up the top now, going straight into the bottom of the stem. And we'll be pretty conservative on our stuffing here. I don't think we need too much stuffing. It's probably fine. What do you think? I think that's fine. Let's hope the petals of this rose work a lot better than the first try. I'm going to try to math it out a little bit more before we get going though, so that we end up with the perfect amount of stitches so that it ends right where the end is. Let's do just a little tiny bit more stuffing. All right. Okay, let's math this out a little bit. It looks like a chunky corn. Yeah, it does. It does kind of look like a chunky corn right now. Chunky corn. Okay, or a weird pineapple. All right, so here's what I'm thinking we do. We're gonna pull a loop through here, and then we're gonna do small petals. So it'll be small petal, end, small petal, end, small petal, end. So that's 3, 4. Let's do 5 small petals. And let's do 6. 6 small petals will end right there. And then we'll have medium petals, which is going to be chain 1, half double, double, half, slip. So that's 1 medium. So we got 6 smalls, 1 medium, 2 mediums, 4 mediums, or 3 mediums. Let's do 4 mediums. 1, 2. That'll be the 4th medium petal. And then do we do big petals after that? Big petals count up 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches in a row. That'll be 1, 2. No, okay, we need to do more than 4 mediums. So this will be another medium, half double, double, half, slip. So that's 5 mediums. So 6 smalls, 5 mediums, and then let's see how many big ones we need to get to the end. If we need to, like if it doesn't end right, then we add more smalls or we add more bigs. So that's kind of what I'm doing here for math. If you are curious of what the heck I'm doing right now. Okay, so now 6 smalls, 5 mediums. Let's try a large one. Half, double, 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 half, slip. That's 1, half, double, double, half, slip. That's 2, half, double, double, half, slip. That's 3, half, double, double, half, slip. That's 4, half, double, double, half, slip. That's 5, and then we have one more of the small. Okay, so we can do 7 smalls, 5 half. How many of the big ones did I say? 6? Let's do 7, 7, 5, and then the rest will be large. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I mapped that out right. We're gonna start by going into the first unused back loop only with our crochet hook, just like that. Get it close for our, see if we can get a screenshot right there. And then we're gonna grab our yellow yarn. Hey Prowl, how you doing? Haven't watched streams in a while. How's it going? It's going great, my dude. How are you, Prowl? Thank you, Cooper. Thank you very much. Okay, so pull a loop through. So here's what I do. I pull a loop through with our yellow in that unused back loop only. Here, let me make a little room here for me to take screenshots of later when I'm doing a pattern. Okay. So like that. And then we want to do a chain 1, like that. And we're going to start by doing, we can leave this tail end loose. We're going to pull that on the inside later. We're going to start by doing a half double crochet in the next front loop only right here. Like that. 1, 2, oopsies, almost lost it. 3. Just pull that loop a little tighter there. And the way, did I do 2 half doubles in a row up here? Yeah, I did. Okay. So we do 1 half double and 2. So we basically do a half double increase into the stitch, like that. And then we chain 1 and slip stitch into the next unused front loop only, like that. And that's our repeat. We're going to do that 7 times. So there's 1. Let's do another one. Chain 1. Half double, half double in the same stitch, yarn, chain 1, and slip stitch into the front loop, or into the unused of the next stitch. That, so there's 2. All right, cool. We want 7 of those. That was 2. There's 3. 1, 2, chain 1, next stitch 3, 1, 2, chain 1, there's 4, All right, I'm gonna get this tail end hidden on the inside. Basically what I'm gonna do is come through the very bottom here. Come out through where that stitch is, like right like that. And then we're gonna yarn over with this tail end and I'm just gonna pull it on the inside of our rows like that. And then it'll hide it in there. And we won't have to worry about looking at it anymore. I don't want to look at you anymore, bub. Get out of my face. Prowl, you're doing some homework and you needed something to watch? Well, thanks for joining, dude. What is on the docket for homework tonight? I'm gonna guess it is math homework. Ugh, math homework. I did not like math homework. I actually did like English homework. I liked writing, so I like that. I guess math was, there's something about math where at least you know that there's actually a right answer, which is kind of nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got one more of these small petals, and then we're going to move on to our larger petals. I think we could have made this with like pointier petals too, very easily. So maybe if we end up doing another one of these, I'll do a pointy petal after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty good. All right, now we're going to make our medium petals. For our medium petals, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. Boop. And then we're going to do 2 double crochets in the stitch after. So that's 1 double crochet and another double crochet. And then we'll do another half double crochet after that. And then we're going to chain 1 and slip stitch into the next. And then we're going to repeat that, I think I said 5 times. So we got 7 smalls, 5 medium, and then we'll go after that. Forrest, you're also doing homework. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. What's your homework? We got math. I knew Prowl. I knew it was math. It always is. But not for Forrest. Forrest is working on science homework, I think. That's my theory. All right, so let's do our second medium petal. Half double, then 2 doubles. And then a half double. Like that. Chain 1, slip stitch into the next. All right, so there's 2 of the mediums. Keep going from there. Here's our third. Half double, 2 doubles. I think this is gonna work out, you guys. I'm feeling good about this so far. Chain 1, slip stitch 1 right there. I think that's 1, 2, 3. 2 more of those. Hey, anybody been watching Traders? Don't spoil anything for me right now. I'm like 1 or 2 episodes behind, but oh my gosh, it is a juicy season. If you guys haven't watched Traders on Peacock yet, it is a really good show. The first 2 seasons of it are so good. It is a reality show. And it's great. It gives me anxiety a little bit, but I kind of love it, you know? All right, I think this is going to be our last medium petal. And then we'll move on to the large petal. Okay, and then chain 1 and slip. Let's see. There should have been 5 of those medium petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You bet your bippy. All right, cool. Look at that. That's looking a lot more rosy. We only have our large petals to go. Okay. Which stitches are the same stitches for the medium petals? The same stitches, it's going to be, for the medium petals, it was you chain 1, you half double crochet 1 in the next stitch, then you double crochet 2 in the stitch after. So it's double crochet increase. So it's half double crochet 1, double crochet increase 1, half double crochet 1, chain 1, slip stitch 1. That's the repeat for the medium petals. All right, for the large petals, we're going to start similar. We're going to chain 1, half double crochet one, like that. Then we're going to double crochet increase one, so 2 double crochets in the next. So there's 1 and 2, and then another double crochet increase, so 2 double crochet increases in a row, not both in the same stitch. Each double crochet increase gets their own stitch, and then another half double crochet increase after, not half double crochet increase, half double crochet, and then chain 1 and then slip stitch 1. And we're going to repeat that for 5 of our larger petals. Okay, so let me do that large petal again. It was chain 1, half double crochet 1, double crochet increase 1. There we go. Double crochet increase again 1, so 2 double crochet increases in a row. Half double crochet into the next, chain 1, and slip stitch into the next. All right, and that's going to be our large petals. Right? Yes. That's good. This is going to be nice because these are going to be really quick to make. We're going to be able to make a bouquet pretty quick with this. Chain 1, half double, just a couple more of these big petals left. Double, a double, yum yum. Oh my gosh, Jazzy, when I was in school, I went to a private middle school, and I also had to do Bible study. I hated Bible study. Hated it. That was my least favorite subject by far. I remember what I would do is right before class, you had to memorize like Bible verses, which I hated. I hated doing this. And so what I would do, because I hated it so much, is I would just memorize it literally right before class. I'd just say it in my head over and over and over and over and over again, wait for the teacher to talk, and then we do the quiz, and I just write it down really fast and then forget about it. Completely forget about it right after. Because I just despised that class. I really did not like it. Thought it was such a silly class. But anyhow, that was me in school. I only did that for that class though. Most classes I paid attention to and enjoyed. But after that year of middle school, I really wanted to go to public school. I did not like private school. So I was like, Mom, can I go to public school? She's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, I could have just asked you all along. I didn't know I could have done that. All right. Last few giant petals here. Half double, a double. Sec, get this more. Go fix my crochet hook a little bit. Another double crochet. I wonder what this would look like with like blanket yarn. That'd be kind of cool. This is it. This is the last one. Half double crochet. And we lined it up perfectly. We chain 1 and slip stitch 1 to the last one. Then I'm going to cut the end here. I don't think I need too long of an end. Let's pull it all the way through, and I'm going to go ahead, go through the very center here and come out through the same stitch like that. I'm going to yarn over with our tail end. I'm just going to pull it all the way through and into the bottom like this. And I think what I'll do is I'll probably crochet around this just for one stitch of our stem, just to keep it in place, and then we'll hide it in after that. But hey, look at that. That's much cleaner rows. That looks great. I'm happy with that. I'm going to open the petals just a little bit. But that looks really good, I think. That looks like a little rose. I think that's good. What do you think in the chat? Any thoughts? I like it, personally. I think it would look interesting if we did little points to each of the petals. But honestly, that's not bad. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh, oh. I felt like a sleeper agent. Okay. Everybody watching that's not reading the chat is like, what the heck are you talking about? Okay, so I'm just going to keep going and crocheting along now. And we're just going to make a stem here. What I'm going to do while I'm making the stem, if I want to add any like little spikes, because you know roses have little points, thorns as they call them. Okay, so I crocheted around this yellow just for one stitch, by the way. I'm going to then stuff it into the body, or I mean into the bud here. I'm just going to take the end here and I'm just going to stuff it in. But if I want to add any thorns to our stem, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create little mini picots. Maybe I'll make a full picot. No, we'll do mini picots. Throughout, I would say probably every, just to make it so it's not even, every 7? No, that's too soon. Maybe every 10 stitches or so, I will do a thorn. We're not going to make this too long. I think we're just going to make it like this long. Maybe like this long. Yeah, let's do like this long. Oh, and you know what? We'll do a leaf in the middle of it too. Yeah, so we'll make it about this long for our stem. So it's a little rose. Kind of cute. Make it pretty easy. And then we'll make a leaf halfway through. Or I guess we could do, actually, you know, we could do a leaf right now. So the leaf is like closer to the top. We'll do one more, let's do one round of single crochets here just to get started on our stem, and then I'll do a leaf. And we're not going to cut for the leaf. I've got a plan. Got a plan. Okay. 5 and 6. Okay, so that's first round there. Let's do a leaf now. And let's see, how are we going to do this leaf? We're going to have to figure this out too. I think it'd be like a chain up. I mean, that would be pretty easy. Or I could do chain up, slip stitch down, and then work into the stitches, which will give us like a seam in the middle. I know I'm not making any sense. I'm talking to myself more than anybody right now. So the options that I have here is we could slip stitch into the front loop here. Or we could just chain. We could do a chain out, slip stitch down the chain, and then work up the chain and then back down the chain, which will create like a little leaf and have a center of that. Or we can make it even easier and just do a chain out and then work our stitches in. But the problem with that is that it's going to make the leaf look like kind of flat on one side more, and it won't have that center of the leaf. Let's try the complicated leaf first. We're going to chain, let's chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that long enough for a leaf? Yeah, that's long enough for a leaf. Okay, so we're going to chain 5, and we're going to work into the back loops for these next chains. We're going to work down, slip stitching into each of the 4 back loops only, working down. So skip our first chain and then slip stitch into the back loops only for the 4 loops down to the base of our leaf chain. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, like that. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn our piece a bit, and we're going to work into the, you know what, let's chain 1. Chain 1 after that. And we're going to kind of flip our piece around, and we're going to work back up here, if I look at these chains, look at this. Here's what we're gonna do. So I just did our chain right there. We're gonna work up the chains back. So we're gonna kind of flip our piece around a little bit, and we're gonna work into these top loops of our chains. We're gonna do our first stitch here, second here, third here, fourth here. And then we're gonna work back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do the same stitches backwards. We'll do in our first, so we did a chain, so we're gonna do, let's do a half double crochet, then a double crochet, then a half double crochet, then a single crochet. Then we'll do a mini picot and then work the same thing backwards. Single, half, double, half. I think that's our plan. Let's give it a shot. Let's try this out. So we flip it around a little bit. I'm going to let my loop go out really far so I can find my first stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be right here. We want to work into the top of that. Let me get closer. Right there. And we're, oh, I'm sorry. We're going to do a half double. So we're going to yarn over and then go into the top of that stitch. Like this. Oops. I think I'm splitting the yarn. There we go. Jeez, that one was weird. Okay, then we're going to do a half double crochet into that one. And then we'll do a double crochet into the next one. Okay, we're working into those top of those stitches. And then we'll do a half double crochet in the next. Like that. And then into our last one right here, we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to do a mini picot. So we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we'll slip stitch into the back loop of the first chain that we made there. And then we're going to work into the back loops of the stitches down. We're going to do a single crochet into our first one right here. Like that. And then our half double crochet into the next one right here. Like that. And then we'll do a double crochet into our third down. And then a half double crochet into our fourth down. Like that. Okay. See, so that made this really cute little leaf. That looks really good, actually. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's chain. Yeah, okay, we're going to chain 1. And then I'm going to slip stitch into the center of the leaf, like. Actually, you know, we'll slip stitch into the same stitch we just did for the half double crochet. Yeah, like that. And that'll kind of close it in. Yeah, that looks good. So slip stitch into the same stitch you just worked into, and then we're going to just keep doing our single crochets around. So now I'm going to go into the next stitch on the base of our stem right here. And we'll just start single crocheting around. Like that. And it'll create this little leaf. And then when we get back around, we're going to work around this leaf so that it stays on the outside. I think that's a good idea. Okay, so we're going to do single. Yeah, we're just going to do regular single crochets for this round. We're not going to do any points yet. We'll do a little, what is it called? Thorn after this. Okay, so this is the last stitch, 1, and then 1 more right here. I hope that what I'm saying is making any sense. If you need more clarifications, let me know in the chat while I have everything going on right now so I can explain it. Look how cute that leaf is though. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull my loop out. We're gonna keep doing single crochets around. But what I'm gonna do is I wanna pull my loop out so that I can get into the stitch of our first single crochet that we made. So pull our loop out. We're gonna keep our leaf on the outside like that and find that first single crochet right here that's right after the leaf. So it's gonna be right there. And then yarn over, pull through that first stitch and then pull tighter. And then that way the leaf is on the outside of our piece, and we didn't need to sew anything on. How cool is that? So cool. So cool. And then let's do, so now we're just going to continue the stem. I'm just going to do I'll do 3 stitches here, and then we're going to do our first thorn. So for the thorn, it's simply just a mini picot. So we're just going to chain 2, slip stitch into the back loop of the first chain that we made, just like how we did at the end of that leaf, and then keep single crocheting around. And when we get around back to where the thorn is, I'm just going to skip the thorn and only work stitches into the single crochet stitches. Make sense? I think it kind of makes sense. Kind of, sort of. It is looking very good. I'm very happy with this so far. By the way, if you pre-order our next season's kit, Woolly Woods, it will come with the materials to make red roses. So if you want to make red roses using this quick little impromptu pattern, if you want this exact same yarn we're using today, then pre-order our next season now. Okay. Let's see how we're going here. I love that leaf. That leaf was so easy to make too. I don't like how this petal is acting, so we're gonna pull it up like that. It's kind of inverting in a way I don't like. But honestly, I think Jules really gonna like this. I think this will make my wife happy. Happy wife, happy life. A lot of people gave us that tip. I was talking to someone, they were like married for 50 years. And both of them separately, without knowing what each other said, kept saying, keep your wife happy. I was like, okay, noted. All right. And we're going to do I'm going to try to keep our thorns relatively separated from each other, at least a couple of rounds away from each other. And then I'm going to try to like switch sides that our thorns are on so that it looks a little bit more randomized. We also don't need to go too long on this stem, honestly. I think we can go to just like... Yeah, that looks really cool. I think we can go to just like that long. You know, long enough where I can put it into a little cup or something. It'd be nice if I had more than one of these, but I think one will suffice with Jules. I think we can work with one. Yeah, looks pretty cute. I kind of do wish the stem was a little bit smaller. And I suppose what I could have done is I could have done just like a long, you know, like wrap around like I do with the, oh, actually, like this. Like how I did the beak here, where I did a pipe cleaner and I wrap around it with green yarn. I could do that for the stem instead, and it would probably look pretty good. It'd be harder to do the leaf and stuff. You'd still have to make the leaf separate and whatever, but it'd probably look good as far as like how thick the stem is, because this is gonna look like a pretty thick stemmed rose, you know? But, you know, I'm just being picky. Okay. This music's funny. I know what this is from. This has got to be from Banjo-Kazooie, though. Hey, Kathy. How you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Oh, wow. We got a decent amount. Oh, never mind. You put the rose stuff in there. Good job. That's really good, Coop. Smart thinking. We got a good amount of names for our kiwi, but this is your last chance. Once I finally finish this, I'm going to be, we're going to be doing a vote for what the name of our kiwi is today. So go ahead, last chance. If you want to give any name suggestions for the kiwi, go ahead and put it in the chat right now. And Cooper will add it to our list. And then at the end of this stream, we're going to do a vote. So you can vote on what you want to name our kiwi. And we'll do it publicly. And that's going to be the name of the actual design. So, you know, vote. while you can. I think we'll do one more round before I do another thorn. I probably also should get some wire. I think we're going to stuff this up with wire so that it is posable and will stand up a little straighter. You know what? We could make this long enough so that it's doing what this rose does, where it kind of makes its own stand. That'd be kind of cute. And that way she can wrap it around anything that she wants. Should be nice too. So maybe we're making it a little longer than I was expecting. You know, maybe like this long. So that way, like the bottom of this, we can wrap into a circle. So how long is that? Where's my ruler? Here's my fun little, I got this ruler thing. It's super cool. I think we're going to make it about that long. So about 6, we're going to try to make it about 6 inches long. So we're almost about halfway there. But honestly, the stem's going to come together really, really fast. Because it's only 6 stitches per round. And it looks like we've got about 4 or 5 rounds per inch. So only like 30 something stitches. Here, I'll do, no wait, we're going to do another round first. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Again, if you haven't yet, please like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, sign up for our test if you would like to. I would love your feedback. We're looking for testers for a new design that is going to be coming out during the beginning of our new season, which starts next week. So if you want to sign up for that, you can find the links in the description. It says looking for testers, fill out this form. So go ahead and fill out that form. We're looking for testers of all difficulty levels, but especially complete newbies. So if you've never crocheted before in your life, or you know someone that's never crocheted in their life, send them our way, because I really want to make this pattern as beginner friendly as possible and get as much feedback as I can before we release it. Oh, Carolina! Carolina? Thanks so much for joining, Carolina. Carolina? Thank you for being a supporter, and that is super cool. Crocheting a stingray? Stingray or manta ray? What's the difference? A stingray, I think a stingray is in shallower waters. Oh. But that's really cute. I love that. Huh. Zoe uses that same ruler for measuring piercing gauges. That's funny. I always wanted gauges, but my mom was like, no, no gauges. And then by the time I was old enough to actually be like, I don't care what my mom says, I'm going to get gauges, I didn't really want them anymore. I always thought my earlobes, like, look how tiny my ears are. I have very, very itty bitty ears. They're only this big. That's tiny ears. And so I always was like, if I do gauges, it's going to be like half my ear is a gauge. But I always did want them. I think they look cool. Got a lot of friends with gauges. All right. It's looking pretty good. You know, especially once we get a wire in there, so it'll be like, we can get it a little bit more wibbly wobbly. We'll do one more round, and then I'll do another little spiky thing there. Crickety crackety. My fingies need a cracking. Oh, I love this song. This is from Pikmin. I love Pikmin. If you had never seen or played Pikmin before, very highly recommended. Personal favorite of mine. And with the new Switch coming out soon, guys, the new Switch is coming out soon. Oh my gosh, I legitimately just gave myself chills. I'm a Nintendo dork, big time. And with the new Switch coming out, I hope they come out with another new Pikmin. I would love that. That would make my dreams come true. Or at least a new Animal Crossing, you know? I'd like that too. You forget it's been so long since the first Animal Crossing because it came out during the pandemic. So, you know, everybody... I feel like time felt different then, you know? Like that feels like it was yesterday, but it was like 5 years ago. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? 2020 was 5 years ago? It feels like it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Time, what is time? The only thing your mom said that you couldn't pierce is your belly button? That's funny. Do you have your tongue pierced too, Zoe? I know you got like your lips pierced. Zoe, by the way, Zoe is covered in piercings. They look awesome. It looks sick. Like way cool. And I'd be surprised if their tongue wasn't pierced. I wonder though, as someone with the tongue piercing, how long did it take till you got like used to it? I don't know if you have a tongue piercing though, so I should wait to find out if that's even a fact. Fake news in it. You're crocheting a giraffe? Cute, Patricia. That's cute. Jules wanted me to design a giraffe yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I could probably design a giraffe. It might take me some time, though. And she's like, oh, well, then don't do it right now. You've got enough things. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I do. I've got... you should see my to-do list. Oh, my gosh, it's so long. It's crazy. It's crazy. I gotta stop coming up with ideas. But I can't. All right. How are we looking here? It's looking pretty good. I think we got like 1, 2. I kind of wish I did this leaf a little lower because it does make the stem look a little bigger than it really is. But, you know, it's not bad. I think we're going to go down... Let's see, if I curled this up right now, it would barely be a rose. So I think we're going to need like that much longer for our rose. Let's see. Do we have any good names, by the way? I'm going to look through the names real quick while I crochet. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, I love... Oh my gosh, whoever named it first... is really that they kind of knocked it out of the park with the very first name. Nico. I mean, to be fair, giraffes kind of look like yellow dogs. No, they don't. Well, they kind of do. Like a weird yellow dog with... You know what's weird about giraffes? Two things, well, a million things are weird about giraffes, but two really big weird things about giraffes. One is their tongue. It's like purple. It's super weird looking tongue. And it's super duper long tongue. So that's weird. Also weird, their antlers are like so weird. When you really think about it, what else has antlers like a giraffe? Nothing. Nothing has little weird horns like a giraffe does. They are little freaks. Peach Blossom, hello, welcome to the chat. Let's see, what else is weird? Oh, that's right, duh, their height, their neck. Giraffes are weird creatures, and I'm glad they exist. I was watching something about rhinos on the plane coming back from the honeymoon, and those are also weird creatures. Those things are crazy. They're so big. But it's just their skin. They're a very strange animal. But they strangely have so much like personality too, which is kind of cute. Haha, Peach. It's 122 where you're at. Let me guess where you're at right now. Let's see. 122, that's 7. That's 8 hours ahead or behind. So it's probably like Thailand, maybe? I'm guessing it's over. I think it's somewhere in Asia. You might be in Europe, but I feel like Europe's way further time difference than we have. I don't know. That's insane, Zoe. What a crazy fact. Zoe said that another weird fact about giraffes is that they have the same number of vertebrae in their neck as we do. Only 7 neck vertebrae. So it's... Whoa. They must be huge. They must be like gigantic vertebrae. Whoa. That's super interesting, dude. Wow. It's also crazy. You ever seen a giraffe fight? They like whip their necks at each other. I whip my neck back and forth. It looks insane to see. All right, I think we only need... I'm just going to do single crochets for the rest here. I think I've done enough of spike or thorns for it to look like thorns, you know? So I think we're going to go to like that much longer, which I think is going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 more rounds or so. Just so that it's long enough so I can turn it around and stuff. England. Oh, England. Okay, so England is 8 hours. Behind or ahead? Behind. No, ahead. Wait. What day is it there, Peach Blossom? Technically, is it technically the 15th there? Yeah, it must be, because the sun rises, like the day starts in Japan, right? So, yeah, wow, it must be the 15th. Interesting. What's the day after Valentine's Day called? Happy Galentine's Day. My mom's birthday is on Monday, the 17th. I think that's Monday. And strangely, super weird, my aunt's birthday is also on Monday. Because my mom's a twin. There's a little lore drop for you. My mom is a twin. Identical. So my Aunt Judy is also a twin. Identical. With my mom. How weird. Of course, they're very close. Literally distance-wise and in personality and whatnot. Okay, we're going to go like that far, much further. We're definitely going to need wire for this. Which I have some, so it's not a big deal. I just letting you know. We probably could use pipe cleaners as our wire too if we wanted to. Just like winding 2 pipe cleaner together could work. But I have wire, so I might as well use it. In fact, I think I have wire that might just be perfectly lengthwise that I had made for when we used to do our seasonal or our monthly kits. I had a rose kit like a long time ago, and I got a bunch of wire cut and made just for those kits, and I made way more wire than I needed, so now I just have a bunch of cut wire that is, I think, the perfect length for this project. So I'll go grab one of those in just a second. It's right behind me. Oh, I thought we had an earthquake, but it was just Jimbo. Do I think it's fair that your parents go to Dubai without you? I mean, I think that's fair. You know, your parents need a trip sometimes too. Well, it depends on how old you are, honestly. Are you home alone Don't tell us how old you are, because I don't like talking about that in the chat. But if you're really young, yeah, you probably shouldn't be left home alone. But, I mean, sometimes, sometimes maybe your family needs to go on a trip without you. And if you're old enough where you can stay home alone, that's kind of a fun trip for you too sometimes. Sometimes it's really nice having some alone time. Lets you figure out who you are and what you enjoy doing, and you just get a little bit of space to yourself, and sometimes that's like really, really necessary, especially as you go older, which is probably why they wanted to go by themselves. It's because sometimes you just need some alone time. You need it more than you think you do. It helps you just discover what you like about yourself, or sometimes it helps you discover what you don't like about yourself, which is sometimes as important. Oh, cool. You're with your... Oh, that's fun. You got family too. Yeah, they're just going on a nice little fun trip. That's all right. Oh, geez. So that's a rough one. Yeah, having a parent being identical twin is very wild. It's very interesting. They are actually very different people. Shockingly, very different people, which has always been confusing for me, especially as an anthropology major. I always think about the biology of people and versus like their environment and stuff like that. And it's just so interesting how different my mom and her sister can be when they were raised by the same parents and they have the same DNA. And it's like, how could you act so differently? Like, how could you? It's just very strange. Very interesting. I think that's long enough for us to have our little tiny rose sitting on its own. And we'll do let's do 12 more, 18 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one row. 6, 7, 8. Let's start at 12. 9. 3 more. 10. 11, and then 12. Okay. All right. We're going to come back to this in a second. I might add more rows. No promises, though. But before we do that, we're going to name our kiwi. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my favorite names from the list. And we're going to vote on what to name our kiwi. So I'll be right there. Boink. All right. So I love the first name that was suggested. I think that is definitely... Oh, and that one's good, too. Ooh, that's a cute name. Yeah, let's do this one. And then one more name. Hold on. Actually, I like this one. Okay. All right, I got our 4 names. Let's do a poll. Name our kiwi pattern. All right, 2 more. 1 and 2. Boom. All right, name suggestions. You can choose between Pee-wee the Kiwi. Oh, that's a really cute name. Peeps the Kiwi. That's a cute name. Kieran the Kiwi. Sounds pretty good. And Conrad the Kiwi also sounds good. So those are your name suggestions. Go ahead and vote now in the chat, and that's what we're going to name this design for the website. So pretty big deal, actually. I'm not going to lie. You got a lot of power here. chat. Now, I personally am voting that one for sure. Woo! Woo! It's a close vote, guys. It's a very close vote. So we're gonna let that go for a little bit. Let's go ahead and give our guy some wire here. Hopefully this wire is enough. See, I have them even packaged and everything, but we need to use it. Okay, get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there, young one. Give me, yeah. There we go. All right. Ooh, this is strong wire too. Also makes my hands a little messy, but that's all right. Up, that, around, like this, and ooh, too long, right? You have a bit too long. Also, my hand's a little icky. That's all right. All right, so we're gonna go up it, and then we're gonna cut it. Looks like we wanted about that much cut off the end. Where is my wire cutters? Ah. There we go. So we'll go ahead, we'll cut it right here. Woo! That was kind of cool. All right. Go ahead and stuff this up it. There we go. And then now it's bendable. So if we went like this, just to see, could it stand up on its own? Or do we need to make it a little longer? No, that's perfect. That stands up great on its own. Okay, great. So then we are happy with this. We're gonna cut the yarn, sew it closed, and call it there. I'm gonna go ahead and count how many rounds I did of the stem, just for curiosity's sake. Let's go ahead and straighten it back out real quick. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 rounds for the stem. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Just trying to get that. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and sew it closed. And we're gonna be pretty much done with today's stream. Hey, thank you so much for watching, by the way. If you're here still, thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe. Share this channel with anybody that you think also would be interested in crocheting or learning to crochet, or loves to crochet already, or just wants to hang out and chill with some cool people. Please share it. Follow us on all the things. We're on Instagram. I'm on technically we're on TikTok, but I don't really post there anymore. And of course, we're here on YouTube. Pre-order our next season, Woolly Woods. Pre-order that ASAP. You have until Friday when the season will be released. In fact, that's when we're going to be live again, by the way. And here is our finished rows. Let's give it a little bit more of a platform. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. You can have it around your finger even. Isn't that cute? I love it. Love it. That looks great, I think. Oh, there we go. Oh, I hope she likes it. We'll see. I'm going to give this to Jules. Happy Valentine's Day for everybody out there. Again, please consider signing up for our new seasonal kit ASAP. We actually have a pretty limited amount this year for that too. If you want to check out more Valentine's themes patterns, we got our anatomical heart and a bunch of other ones that you can find at clubcrochet.com/valentines. And let's see, what did you name our kiwi? Oh my gosh, it's a tie vote. Hold on. We need one more vote, guys. Anybody who's out there, we only have 20 votes, but we have 39 people watching. Vote now on the name of our kiwi. We need a name. I know what I voted, but what will you vote? Oh my gosh. I did vote for one of the tops. Come on, guys. We need one more vote. Oh, it was the... No, wait, we need a vote on one of the 2 top ones. All right. Looks like we got it. Yes, we got 2. Both for the same one. Pee-wee the Kiwi. Love it. Love it. We'll say hi to Pee-wee the Kiwi. Pee-wee is a pattern on the website now. If you want to find it, you can check it out at clubcrochet.com. We're going to get this new rose pattern up as an impromptu pattern ASAP. Give us patience. Now that Valentine's Day is over, it's kind of a little late anyhow. But we're going to get this on the website as soon as we can. But don't rush us. We'll get there when we get there. Thank you so much for joining again. Pasta La Pizza. I'll see you guys next Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, for our Woolly Woods season release party. It's going to be a great time, so please join us. Okay, guys. Pasta La Pizza. Happy hooking. See you next time. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh, stop. You're making me blush. Bye. Bye.